What's fun and interesting about the market for you?
Oh, if you are really like game and you can meet sometimes very visionary people, you know, it kind of feels like I like a movie and I'm working for movie industry. I met.
Wordle.ai presents Game Dev and All Tech.
Oh, hello, everybody, and welcome again to another episode of Game Dev and All Tech, brought to you by Wordle.ai, your one-stop solution for game distribution. And here with me today, I've got a good friend of mine, Akiko Katagiri, who is the CEO of Hybrid Squad. How are you doing today, Akiko?
Hello, Bill. I'm good, and it's hot weather still in Tokyo, so
Yes.
I'm staying in the cafe now to talk with you. Yeah.
Oh, you're in a cafe now?
Yes. Sorry.
Which cafe?
It's a Starbucks.
The normal Starbucks?
Yes.
Not Dotoru or any of those other places?
Yeah, not the other one. Sorry.
Awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time to be on the show. I know, as of recording, it's September 17th right now, and what we have coming up next week is Tokyo Game Show. So, what are you looking forward to with Tokyo Game Show?
Yeah, it's good. Pretty close. It's in already next week. Wow. And yeah, we looking for some, the good partnership with, good game developer, also some other publisher, Western publisher mostly want to come to Asian market. So we want to help them to bring their games to Asian market mostly, Japan and other Asian market. Yeah, those kind of things. Yes. So meet some media if possible. Yeah, that is all. Yeah.
Just meet people from all over the world and try and bring them over to APAC.
Yeah, I think so. Hope so. And it looks like read some article. This time is pretty big. I heard it's the kind of biggest Tokyo Game Show this time
Oh,
ever. Yeah.
wow. Hopefully, I think last year, didn't we have like some people fainting or something because of the heat?
Yeah, the first day was horrible. You know, no, its air conditioners is totally broken.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was terrible experience. Hopefully not this time.
And then, were you at any other game shows earlier this year?
I think I've been to some GDC and Gamescom. Maybe G Star, November. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, G-Star's coming in November, and if I remember correctly, it's always around the time of my birthday. So, but just looking at the different game shows that you've been to so far this year, like how would you compare GDC to Gamescom so far?
Yeah, those are pretty Western. You know,
Yeah.
some big player in North America and Europe side, so it's pretty good to check atmosphere, what happened in the game industry,
Mhm.
and also to exchange the information, what happened the market, and also meeting some good game developers and publishers as well. Yeah, it's pretty good network place to attend, I think. And the Tokyo Game Show is mostly very focused on the Asian market, I think, compared with the others. It's mostly focused on the Japan market. So it's someone who interested in Japan market and also the other Asian market is pretty good chance to attend, I think.
And then if you're just comparing the different game shows that are out there, like how would you describe like the different vibes between the different I don't know, game shows? Because obviously one GDC, that's like San Francisco, it's America, and then you've got Gamescom, which is in Europe, and then you've got Tokyo Game Show, which is in Tokyo, and G Star, which is in Busan, Korea. Like just looking at across all those different ones, what would you say is like the big, I don't know, different vibes between all those different shows, and like which is the, I don't know, the biggest that you would say, or yeah, most impactful?
I think it's a kind of what's the geographic difference. You know what? Very local, biggest event in those reasons. So
Yeah.
yeah, that is the most biggest one. And especially with the GDC, there also like a big player, as mentioned. As you know, that you're from your origin place, in States. So like Facebook, Apple, Google, and Amazon over there, and also Epic Games, Steam. So it's pretty good place to to also to network with those kind of platformers as well, and
Hmm.
also because media side as well. Because as also the because game players is in North America side as well. But yeah, but it's getting expensive, as you know. That's is pretty hard to Asian companies, but it's a pretty good place to do some network as well. Yeah.
I heard like what the going hotel rates for uh Gamescom were just like crazy. And I think this past GDC I was in and out for like 24 hours. So my GDC for this year was kind of the whirlwind uh tour. But how did you find Gamescom compared to GDC?
Oh, Gamescom. It's kind of to me, it's very interesting game event to check what happens in the indie side, mostly because our the company very focused on the indie game business side. So to check the European indie game what is it, developers and publisher, it's very good to check in Gamescom because it's the biggest one in Europe. So normally I know it's very pretty expensive. They're also very almost the same prices with GDC, but it's worth it because you can just one event you can check all the what happens in Europe side. Even if there is a lot of UK companies attend those game in the Gamescom. So yeah.
Right. And then you talked a little bit about the indie side of things. And just looking at and comparing markets, the indie scene in say the US, Europe, and Japan and Korea, how would you kind of uh, sort of break down or um, you know look at the different indie scene in those different markets?
Uh, it's kind of it's a very I think there is a one difference. It's a big one big the difference is the biggest one because different big differences is that um it's the geography. I think it's like they
Yeah,
are
yeah,
very
no, it's
yeah.
obvious.
Yeah. So if you want to meet some Japanese companies, so obviously you should come to visit the Tokyo Game Show, or you want to go to meet some the North American companies, and it's obviously you should go to GDC, something like that. Um, other and then also there has the same thing. Is that all those kind of events you can see a lot of the the indie game developers, so you can see some new publishers over there. This is pretty interesting to me. Yeah, so kind
What
of
what's the biggest difference, do you think, like from like the Japanese indies and let's say like the Korean indie scene?
as you know, there's Japan is also very focused on the console,
Yeah.
and um, and in South Korea, they started to the PC online. So these two different genres mostly they have the differences in the game industry. And the funny thing is that these two countries is also very strong on mobile.
Right.
Yeah. So there has some common about the mobile side, and now is there are kind of to mix it. So the Japanese companies also try to, and there has already success cases on PC online as well, and some Korean companies also very success cases in console side now. So yeah, this kind of things also very exciting to see what happens in future. Yeah.
What about North America and Europe?
Yeah, it was the same. It was the same. Yeah, but they are starting to do something for the PC online, and it kind of the multi-platform or online games. There has some very big success cases already from the the World of Warcraft, and before there has also what is it, the ever what is it, what name? So it's my online or something different, all the cases as well. But nowadays a kind of multi-platform, online games already. It has a success case, Fortnite and Roblox, something like that. So
Right.
yeah.
Cool. And then just going back to the state of the game industry, obviously over the past year there's been a lot of different layoffs and things in the gaming industry. What are your thoughts on why that has been happening, and kind of what the future holds as a result of those layoffs that we had?
I think the mostly there has some it's kind of booming up with AI.
Right.
So I have read some article. So the companies do not need to many people in a company, so that's why they started lay off something like that.
Mhm.
And also at the same time, some very skilled people, they can start their own business now. So
Some more indie developers.
yeah, so we ended rough, yes. And
Awesome.
then and so kind of they are started to drive some skilled people go out, or make some some venture startup inside of companies, or to make it to send some people to learn in the other industry, and to make their they train more very skilled person ever before, something like that, and to use them to other maybe department or something like that. So in Japan, it's kind of not that much layoff happened compared with the other Western market.
Right.
But there are some the stream to make some some personal re-education to use the other the new department or new business side. So compared with this, yeah. So yeah, compared with this kind of, I think it's a pretty good stream. But it's very very sad stories as well. But I think after that, maybe there has some movement, because I saw a lot of indie game developers as well, who worked before big companies. So yeah, I think it's a kind of they will make some new stream about that. So it's one of the reasons to many super many games coming out. But to me, it's who working in the game industry, I think it's pretty good. It's a wave, because the users can choose what they want more.
Right.
Yeah, but to our to me, or like who working in game industry, so it's getting harsh. So, but to users, I think it's a pretty good wave to them. Yeah.
Well, I think still, like, the indie developers, even if they go outside and of their big companies, they'll still definitely need help. Some of which I think your company helps provide, and other people who provide similar services. They'll still need some of those, I don't know, same services. I would think, but I don't know. What's your take on that?
Yeah, it's very risky. I think there's a bad thing also, but there's also a good thing as well. Um, yeah, but the market is getting harsh. It's obviously it's true. So maybe we need to do something more special. That it's more should have some differences with others. Make us some specialized something, and yeah, but I think the market was very restricted before. It's just before COVID. I think it's just near the COVID era, but now it's getting a lot of selections. Also, I think is that there are a lot of the capitals coming up. I think it's not that much, but still there has a a lot of the investment movement is occurred in game industry. So I think it's not that much bad, but also it's very harsh to us as well. So it means like good things happen, also bad things happen the same way.
Where do you see the next big opportunities in the gaming space then?
I think so there are more platforms coming like a VR or or yeah, Sony is doing something cool stuff like they added some games on the car, kind of yeah. And I don't know what kind of things will come more, but I think that there is a more new platform is coming,
Okay.
like a water. So, yeah, so kind of it'll be sometimes it's very fun to see. Um, there are some more platforms and services coming. Yeah, so I think it's not that much bad, but we need to learn every time. It's very market is quickly changing, so sometimes
Right.
it's very tired and harsh. Yeah, yeah. So maybe need to prepare some, um, the older, new kind of services coming or new platform is coming, and as a need to be prepared to learn more. These
Right.
kind of things may be very important to, to the business in game industry, I think.
And then we just had recently Unity. They announced that they're changing how they're charging their developers now on the platform uh, from that, what was it, crazy usage model um, back to like I think the different licensing model. Um, do you think that's a good thing for the gaming industry, or should everyone just go off to I don't know how you pronounce it, Godot or Godot or um, that other open source engine?
Oh yeah, it's very I think it's a good to developers, but I don't know it's that much good for all because someone already changed to their mind to using Godot.
Yeah,
Yeah, as you know, so yeah,
yeah.
but the Unity is they need to keep the market and keep their users, mostly the developers wants to keep their the services you're using. So I think it's also Unity's choice selection is good enough
Mhm.
to the market because they need to compete with other upcoming the more engine developer engines such as the Godot. There are very great because I saw some of the very famous developers also started using Godot, and
Mhm.
Godot also they're making some indie game. Um, I don't know, some developers are using Godot, and the developers are making pretty good games already. I saw some success cases already. So yeah, it's kind of Unity should be kind of choose kind of a. I think they are very clever choice. They
Mhm.
started to use the changes their mind. So yeah.
And then in terms of the Japanese and Korean markets, for people from outside of these markets, if they want to make it in and be successful in say South Korea and Japan, uh, aside from talking to you, what else do they need to do to be successful in these markets here?
Oh, Japan and Korea. You need to
Yeah.
learn the language first. No, no, no. That's okay. That's okay. It's I think it's a localization, but it's the funny thing is like Japanese users and Korean users they are also very open to play the Western games now. So, but anyhow, good localization and good partnership. This is a pretty important and open mind and don't say you know the market that much before you started to experience this market, especially Japan. I think And so
Yeah.
I so some of the the Western people said I know Japan pretty well, but I don't think so. we don't think so, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. At first, you should learn the language, and then you should understand the users in here. But luckily the young people are pretty open-minded compared with the 10 years before. So the users are pretty open. But this is a good chance, actually. But yeah, it's better to it's a, that's why is a kind of the choose a right partner, like the water, this the well, and yeah, yeah, and then
And squad.
yeah, and who knows the Western and Japan pretty well. I think it's like it's true. I think, and yeah, so yeah, right partnership. This is pretty important. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the localization is super key here because you especially in Japan, I just don't think everyone feels as comfortable with English. And then, would you say the same as for Korea as well, or what would you say is like the big differences between the South Korean market and the Japanese market in terms of, say, localization and then just deploying your games?
I think the first one is like numbers. The market
Yeah.
size in Japan is much bigger. I think. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think it's obviously they not think. Yeah, so obviously the Japan market is much bigger. That's why the Korean companies all they make a subscribe in Japan now. This is true. And what else? The characters. Yeah, I think it's a yeah. That's now it's a market. The features. Yes, there are super different. So a Korean market, there are tended to play a lot of the biggest game, mostly
Right.
a famous one.
Mhm.
There are streams that follow most users playing kind of things that happen. And also Japan has kind of things also like the Monster Hunter, something
Right.
the Fortnite. This kind of game is pretty big in Japan as well. So, but the Japan market is more, the users are tended to play more kind of things like a very indie style as well. They're tried to something very challenges and still has marketing here is pretty, um, you know, pretty good to see every
Mhm.
time. So every genre is very acceptable in here. In Korea also same, but the Korea is the market size is pretty small compared with Japan. So that's why I can say the first target for Asian market should try the Japan first, and then
Mhm.
maybe next the Korean something.
Right.
And yeah, I also the China market also good for numbers, but now is kind of there has some political issues. So but yeah, maybe so. This is my the recommendation is first Japan and South Korea and Taiwan, something like that.
Right.
But also yeah, but sometimes you need to just wanted to get a big figure first, and maybe China is one of the other options. I think yeah. But yeah.
Wasn't the big challenge with the Chinese market that you actually need to have like a local business and then that you work with, and then you register for like ISBN numbers and all these registrations, and that's a big hurdle for new people entering the market, or has things kind of changed and opened up recently in China?
Oh, yeah, I've heard of similar things, but yeah, but I think that China also, because it's always at the success key point is like choosing right partner over there.
Right.
The mostly Tencent. I haven't heard Tencent or some other biggest company who you can trustful.
Right.
Yeah, mostly the side. But I also put some see I saw some success cases in indie side as well.
Oh, really?
So yeah, some indie publishers are doing pretty great. So yeah, maybe you can choose if you're not if you're not aware about the worry about the politics side. Yeah. Mm.
Right.
The market size is pretty big in China, so yeah.
I heard somewhere that China had a lot of people. Um, and then just going back to your career, I think you first started off in Korea at a company, and then moved through a bunch of different companies like Mobcast, Capcom, and 505. What have been some of the bigger lessons that you've learned as you've kind of progressed through your career, especially in the BD area, um, in gaming?
Oh yeah, I studied computer science in South Korea's university.
Mhm.
I studied there, and that's why I can speak Korean as well. But
Yeah.
the funny thing is, but nowadays there has a lot of young Japanese also study in South Korea. Because
Right.
I don't know, but every time I saw that case, it's pretty fun to me. But anyhow, and then I after graduation, I did work in a PC online game company, and
Mhm.
it was pretty good to me because they just before they listed on strong market in now it's still existing on South Korea and they're pretty big. But they at the time they started prepared the regional stock market and then they give me some stocks.
Whoa.
Yeah,
So,
it was it was pretty awesome. Yeah.
so now you're rich. Yeah,
No, no,
so you haven't been telling me the whole
no,
time?
no. At the time, I was 23, 4,
Uh-huh.
and I sold all the stocks.
Wow.
It was almost to the Isen Yakmayan. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, 24 and Isen Yakmayan was pretty big. But I used the half of them to my sister's university in a coast. I paid instead of her, and then
Whoa. You
yeah,
paid it. Wow.
yeah. But and
You're the
I,
best
other,
sister ever.
it was pretty impressive to me. Young age, experience kind of what is stocks is
Right.
and how it works, kind of things. So other lots of them are using a lot of the stock trading, and it's gone.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, but it was fun. And after that, I'm very excited to work in game industry. So at the time, I tried to meet some other Japanese companies, and what Capcom was one of them, and they actually my senpai at the time. It was the prior to me and recommended to the Capcom Inside there because at the time they tried to make us some online team, a talk team at the time. So that's why I moved to the Capcom after that.
Right.
And after Capcom, I also working some several other game companies. And then after I have got some offer from the 505 games. So that's why I worked for them 3 years. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then after that, I independent. Yeah.
Started your own thing.
Yeah, I was work. I expressed was it was fun, but yeah. So yeah, this game industry is so they are so passionate and a lot of young people and a lot of fun as well. So yeah.
What's the biggest fun thing about the game industry other than the fact that we're playing games and stuff and dealing with games for work? But I guess what's fun and interesting about the market for you?
Oh, if you are really like game, and you can meet sometimes very visionary people. you know, it kind of feels like I like a movie, and I'm working for movie industry. I can meet some very visionary, very famous actor and actress. This is very similar. Yeah.
Right.
So that is pretty big fun to me. And others is kind of you can be very like I said what is it uh, uh, you can get some energy from the industry side as well, and then get motivated to work with other very good people who loves games, and a lot of
Mhm.
senpais go highs. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's pretty you know um, it's kind of key points. It's a key important things to work in game industry side now. Yeah,
What
yeah.
what made you decide to? I mean, it's a big decision to go out and make your own company. Uh, first, why the name Hybrid Squad, and then second, why the decision to make your own company?
First of all, the game industry is a lot of guys, so male side, main industry. So even if I recommend to the what is it, a decision maker, this game looks nice, and
Yeah.
but it's kind of decided by almost the male side. It was too sad to me sometimes. Sometimes I do, kind of. I'm not that much, the producer side. I'm not that the developing side, but sometimes I can see some games, such as kawaii style. It's mostly what I like. So it's very hard to pass their review, something like that. That's
Yeah.
too sad to see. So this kind of experience to me is a kind of in my mindset. I needed to maybe it's a start. It's time to start my own business, something like that.
Right.
And then yeah, that's the main decision. I want to make my own company, and the name of the hybrid squad. I saw a lot of the wording in
Right.
Japan, hybrid. A lot of trucks using and cars using, and
Yeah.
at the I was working for was it overseas BD over 10 years, and normally I benchmarking about the big companies overseas decision strategic.
Yeah.
In Japan, I mostly saw and watch Rakuten
Uh-huh.
case and also the Toyota's case. So what kind of they making some the factories overseas side and also what kind of marketing side, and but the time Toyota's using a lot of hybrid wording.
Right.
And then also I don't work to my company looks like a game side, only gaming company.
Right.
So I just to add the hybrid first and then squad. I don't want to make a big team, so that's why I just added the squad. That's why my company, so so named as hybrid squad. Yeah.
So how many people are in your squad?
Now it's a five mostly. Main team is three. And then there has a three
Right.
more supporters.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. That's
it's a
that's
five.
big.
Actually, five. No, it's six. Yeah.
That's a pretty big squad.
No, yeah, but it's kind of yeah. But I wanted to keep it small.
That's definitely one way you can run the business. And for those people who want to get into the gaming industry, what would be your recommendation for people on how to, sort of break in and get knee deep in with the gaming industry?
So who wants to start a work or involve the game industry? Means
Yeah. Yeah.
okay. Maybe I should some appeal to your interesting to in a game industry people. So there's a lot of meetup, tiny
Yeah.
meetup, um, indie game meetup or something like that, and just to meet people and express how much you love game, and
Right.
and yeah, it's kind of starting to what they to know what they need, and you can hear a lot of information. So you can start it to how can involve with them. So yeah, try to some tiny talk and then yeah, deep inside.
So go out there and meet people out there in the industry at events. I know that's going to be different for each market out there in the world as to how the different communities organize, but obviously I think there's probably a lot of communities built around game engines, and if you're a developer, and then I don't know, where do BD people hang out? I feel like the BD people kind of get shoved in the corner somewhere.
Oh, I think so. Mostly the event side. I think, yeah, event or network or some tools. The option to meeting up tools in is, for example, the games that they support. Uh,
Right.
provide some meeting tools. Those tools mainly for BD side. And if you don't like it, then the meet people face to face, and maybe you can start it to some community work.
Right.
Some writing, some review, or joining some the online group or some community. And there's a lot of the communities such as Reddit and Discord. So
That's right. Yeah.
yeah.
Reddit. Yeah. So, um, and then I think you've also done some work with like NFT and blockchain stuff before. Kind of, what are your thoughts on the sort of crypto side of the gaming industry, and its usefulness for uh, game studios and also for the end users?
I think that at least they need to know about what it is.
Yeah.
I know there's some people that's very negative for kind of things because there are a lot of scamming happens.
Yeah.
So yeah, but at least they need to know what it works because it will be calm, obviously,
Right.
blockchain stuff. So you need to learn what happens and maybe big players, who is the big players in the industry that is at least needed, even if you are not a supporter.
Right.
Because it will come, is it true? Because there has a quantum computing system is coming,
Right.
and at the time, is blockchain will be using lots, I think. So yeah, so at least not support the NFT or blockchain side. Need to basic what it happens, the industry. It's necessary, I think. Yeah.
It's what would you say are some big players that maybe in the space that are actually trustworthy and not gonna do, as they say, a rug pull?
Actually, the similar system is already exists before. If I'm not the server engineer, I cannot say, but there has come the similar system already exists. I think it's a Steam already have kind of NFT trading system in their community, something like yeah,
Like
there's
the trading card things.
yeah,
Yeah.
those kind of things, and then, the banana.
Oh, the banana app.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's kind of similar. I think it's just very simple, pretty similar. So
That's true.
yeah, so those kind of things happen. So, but anyhow, the blockchain is kind of new tech. I think that gamers or game developers can do something very exciting things with that. But even if not you're the supporter, but you can see very similar what is it, symptom or some cases that happens in the game industry as well. Yeah. So yeah, anyhow,
My take on it is that we'll the crypto stuff is going to get more and more integrated to the things that we're doing in the gaming industry. But the key to it all is going to be that it's so seamless and kind of invisible, such that the tech part of it, the fact that it's using blockchain or cryptocurrency or whatever, is kind of behind the scenes and happening, and not necessarily like at the forefront for users, so that the end users don't really notice that you know this technology is being used. And so that's when I think that sort of mass adoption will really happen, is kind of my you know uh, personal take on it. Because I think where things have messed up is when we talked about NFTs and just them being like random JPEGs and stuff, instead of something that's actually like useful for the users. And so now I think especially with platforms like Telegram coming into play, there's more opportunities for people to experience Web3 and the blockchain without even knowing that they're actually using it. So I think we're starting to see the maturity of this market, and certainly it's going to, probably it's going to change as we go on too.
That's true. That's true. And it still has very like I say uncomfortable to use.
Yeah.
MetaMask is kind of a famous wallet system.
Yeah.
Sometimes I cannot log in. You still put in all the keys, but it's a little bit very uncomfortable. I mean, not really, but actually, it's uncomfortable sometimes. So it's still needed to evolve the market. So it's still developing now, I think.
Yeah.
Still developing for other games, but it is some of the games are pretty interesting to play. But blockchain side, but coin is totally gambling. Like yeah, but it's a very now it's kind of it's a main bank or main was it the main mainstream is getting it is a kind of very what is it the investment tools now is like a gold especially the Bitcoin, but I don't have Bitcoin, so I can't say anything.
There's certainly some learning curve even for people with a tech background. Something I'll admit to everybody who watches this or listens to it is that with MetaMask, I managed to I don't know, I had some like money, some crypto in out of like Binance or something, and I had to get it out, and then I sent it to MetaMask, and then I was trying to send that to something else, and then I ended up just sending, I think it's probably $60 worth of cryptocurrency, so it wasn't like the end of the world, but I think I sent the money to literally an empty address or something, and so
Yeah, things happen really. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of sick part.
yeah,
Needed to improve some kind of those things as make more easier UX or something like that. Needed to
Yeah.
copy paste some the address. It feels like a very tired sometimes.
complicated.
Yeah, but funny thing is like I've been WebEx
Mhm.
with Sakura as well. I did one. Also the Korean blockchain week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even if the Korea side is illegal, something due to something with the coins, I heard from the the famous press, the writer, but still very stimulus and met a lot of young people, and also Japanese companies over there.
Yeah.
So it's fun to see, something happen with that. So just so with make us antenna tuned will be pretty good to have some your insight what happened next in future maybe. Yeah, I think it's pretty something good to know what Elon Musk is doing.
Yeah.
It's all you already because you are the origin there. So yeah, so it's almost yeah. I know it's very gambling, but it's fun to see. It's what happened next.
Right.
It's a similar things happen in game industry, I think. And then the funny thing is like the experts also saying a lot of things about the blockchain's contents. There has going to be maybe NFT or so, the movie or the music and other contents, but mostly gaming side. They speak a lot of game stuff. So yeah, and even in next week at Tokyo Game, so there has the blockchain some companies boost over there as well. So you can see a lot of things over the blockchain side next week as well. So
And see what they're up to.
there has some boost. Some the YGG also have some big boosts over there, and then some the other some the blockchain companies and tiny boosts belongs to them, so you can check. Yeah.
Akiko, it's been good talking with you. I think we're kind of at time, so want to be respectful of that. Akiko, here's your time to promote anything and anything that you want.
So yeah, I will. Yeah. So Hybrid Squad is just for the new indie game developer who wants to, come to Japan and other Asian market. We can help, but we are tiny. So first contact big publisher in Japan, and then contact us. We can definitely help you. So yeah, if you have a completed games, but it should be completed in Western market. So on store, let us know. We do kind of not only console but also mobile. I'm trying to start it to PC, but mostly we are currently just focus on the console and mobile console for PlayStation and Switch. So yeah, please contact us if you have a good games. Yay!
Akiko, how do they contact you?
So hybridsquad.com is our homepage. So there has there's contact form. So
Okay.
fill the form and add your product, and then we can check and back to you. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Akiko. It's been great spending time talking with you. And I've been your host, Will Bohn. And this whole thing supported by World.ai, which is your one-stop solution for game distribution. Thanks so much, Akiko.
Thank you, Will. It was fun. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much.